close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities. Here we offer you. We gon' show you a new way. The content it never stays. We're positive and uplifting. Once a week the scope gifted. There's zero to fake. Hydration like Boucher.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another exciting episode of MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. You know what? Let me put myself in the middle here so that those of you watching on the vertical stream don't see like half of my face. I am so excited to be here, and I apologize for being late. I was out, so I had to push it down a little bit so you could see we're on like about an hour after the time we're supposed to be here. But whatever, we're here now, and I'm happy to have you here. And you notice I'm like in a different place in my living room. Yeah, that's because I had a shoot earlier, and to dismantle everything would have been too much to be in my regular place. So you'll just get my this thing today. I'm in a chair. You get to see a little bit of the painting. It is what it is. So I hope everyone is doing well. So because I'm makeshift, I'm also holding my microphone. So when I give you the hug, I'm going to have to give you the hug with one hand. So let me go ahead and let's get to it. In case you've never been here before, my name is Tachi, media professor, filmmaker, media content producer. I'm also a journalist, and we're here on Fridays, usually around in the 8 o'clock hour, but tonight we're a little late. So we're in the 9 o'clock hour. Yeah, 9 o'clock hour. Sheesh, we're a little late. But those of you coming in, I thank you for coming in. And guess what? You can always watch this on the replay. And yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, I would love if you did me a solid and liked and followed or subscribed rather, and tell your friends and your frenemies. They don't have to like us. They can just come in. So it has been quite a day. I hope it's been a good day for you. Let's see. We've already got a comment, and look who is here. Divine Right, also known as Serena Wills. She is the queen of food truckery and the minister of libation. Serena, I was out. So I said, I will get to MediaScope as soon as I get back in. So I am back in now, and I am on. Hopefully you all hear me well. Let me know that you're hearing and seeing me well. But guess what? Since we've got some folks in here now, this calls for the hug. So you get a one-arm hug today because I'm holding the other microphone. Yay! So Rita, I was just explaining that I had a shoot earlier, and the orientation when I shoot for other people is not the same that I use for me, and I had some extra equipment. Yeah, I wasn't tearing all that down to do that today. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to have to be close to the spot that I shoot the other people in. So this is what you get today. You get me up, but see, you notice what I did. I pulled myself away from the wall, folks. Here's a tip. And you know what? Maybe I will start with like a media tip or a production tip for those of you that are interested in doing this. And guess what? Why not? We can do this for like pennies on the dollar. So if you have a message, put it out there, as long as it's a reasonable, sensible message. Okay, put it out there. So here's the thing. To give myself this chair is usually flush against the wall. To give myself a little bit of depth, I pulled myself off of the wall. So this is why, if you look at the painting in the background, it's blurred. It's got soft focus. That's called shallow depth of field. And you can see I am sharp in the foreground. I did that purposely, and it also has to do with my lens, but this gives me a little bit of depth. That's why my back isn't on the wall. And guess what? I don't have very harsh shadows. Now you can see a little bit of purple shadow from me, but it's not really harsh. And that's because I am off the wall. So here's a tip. When you are recording, get off of the wall. The farther away from the wall you are, the better, because then you have nice depth and you won't get shadows. So the farther away you are from a wall, the less likely you are to cast shadows and distract people. Ah, yes. Make it plain, make it simple. List today is simple. So at least this is not just a plain white wall, right? So that's what happened. She says, happy Taco Friday. Guess what, folks? For those of you who have never been here before, we have a food truck. Yes, it's imaginary, but it's real to us. And so we serve all sorts of wonderful, delectable eats and libations. It is Taco Friday. We're never here on Tuesdays, but we're always here on Fridays for the most part. So today is Taco Friday, and I don't feel like tacos tonight, so I won't be ordering any after this, but maybe tomorrow will be a taco Saturday. All right, let's exactly be like MJ off the wall. Perfect. In fact, I did a Be More about this, get off the wall. I'm going to have to redo it and use that MJ reference. Thank you, Serena. Thank you very much. All right. So we have some stuff that and we have a new special, folks. Now serving matcha. Oh, wow. Okay. All the folks love a good matcha. Serena, are you a matcha girl? And put in the chat if you guys like matcha. Uh, Here's the thing, it has to be well made. There was a quick story. There was a place like down the street that was beautiful. So for those of you that don't know, I live in South Florida. So you can be outside like all the time, basically. So it was this wonderful artsy garden, and it was a coffee bar too. So they served matcha, they served all these things. Now, matcha has to be made well for me not to for me to like it, so that it doesn't taste grass like. These people made the best matcha on this here earth. I mean, it wasn't even like fancy like lavender blueberry matcha like people. No, it was a good matcha latte. It was beautiful. I didn't get the grassy taste of beautiful. For some reason, they then sold this place to somebody else. Why not just serve fuel? Why not just serve crude oil? It was terrible. So, now I'm very hashtag side eye at people's matcha. I have matcha. I need to learn to make it properly. Let's see. Divide Right says, funny thing, I've never tried it, but I see it everywhere. Okay, so listen, word to the wise, don't just go drinking matcha everywhere because you may not like it. And then there are different strengths of, like, some people like it very strong. There are different grades of matcha. There is ceremonial matcha. I actually have the whisk and all of that to do it properly. I just haven't yet. I need to get a good matcha before I actually try this. So, and then when I'm saying matcha, I'm talking matcha latte, not necessarily straight matcha. All right. Hey, Paul Henderson, what is up? Paul Henderson is from the same place I am, Buffalo, New York, and he lives in Buffalo, New York, I think. Anyway, I'm not sure. Let me know where you're living these days. But we went to the University of Buffalo together. So welcome in, Paul Henderson. It is wonderful to see you. We're also serving, for those of you that want, ginger turmeric tea and blueberry hibiscus tea. Oh, I will take a blueberry hibiscus tea. Please serve that up for me, my dear. I would be so appreciative. Oh, okay, she says I can't intake caffeine. I'm hoping it's caffeine free. No, it's green tea, so it does have caffeine in it. I've never heard of a caffeine free matcha, but there are wonderful herbal teas that, yeah, maybe give the same effect, same grass like effect. I'll look it up for you. Fantastic. Okay, still here. So he still lives in Buffalo, New York. Well, welcome in, Paul. It is wonderful to see you. All right. So I'm gracing you all tonight with the Living Single t-shirt. It has like Khadijah and Sinclair and Overton and all of that on. So I'm gracing you with a little bit of the Living Single. And speaking of Living Single, do you all know that there is a podcast that you can get anywhere you listen to podcasts and also watch on YouTube called Reliving Single? So this is Erica Alexander, who played Max, and Kim, what's Kim's last name? Help me, from In Living Color. You remember, I can't remember her last name now, but she played Sinclair. So they do a rewatch and talk about different Living Single episodes. It is so good. So if you are into podcasts, if you were into Living Single, definitely. And they have guests. So it's the two of them reliving Single, right? Watching back old episodes and talking about things, but they also have guests, and there'll be guests that were on the show. The last one they had Yvette Lee Bowser, who was the writer and the creator of Living Single. So Queen Latifah has been on there. It's such a fun show. So check it out in case you like. Thank you. Kim Coles. What's up? Christine, it is good to see you. Kim Cole. I was like, Kim. There were two Kims on that show. And yes, they had Queen Latifah the other week. So good. It is so good. Listen, are you all believing me now about the power of indie? Do you believe me now? If you did not believe me before, I'm hoping that you believe me now. There is power in independent media, and we're seeing it happen. You don't have to have some big deal. And I'm going to stop talking about that because nobody listens when I say that anyway, because the proof is in the not a fan of pudding so much. Cake. How about that? The proof is in the cake. The moist, delicious, wonderful cake. The proof is there. I don't have to keep saying things because people do it. So you can go ahead and keep begging Netflix and all these places for a deal. Go on and beg. And that's fine. Go on, beg. Okay? Go on and beg. Meanwhile, other people, including the people who haven't into Hollywood, are looking at YouTube. I'm just saying. I can't make this up. Anyway, we do have a special. We've got a Living Single special. This is the Living Single Lasagna. Wow. Living Single Lasagna. Wow. That's quite a special. You'll want to get yourself a piece before it is gone, because I can see this is a special that's going to go. So we've got tacos and lasagna. Maybe we'll have some salad too, because we don't have a stitch of green tonight, but we need that, don't we? Fantastical. All right. Let's keep going. Once again, if you're joining for the first time, because let me explain this. We've got two streams going at once. We've got a vertical stream, so as if you're watching on your phone, which, by the way, where is my phone? It's somewhere. So if it rings, ignore it, because I don't know where it is right now. So we've got a vertical stream, and then we've got a horizontal stream. So the horizontal stream is how you'd usually be watching me, but because now we can do it in two different streams on YouTube through StreamYard, I also do that as well. So we may get some people who are not normal MediaScope watchers, not regular, let's say that, MediaScope watchers. So I am happy to have you here. All right. Well, you know what? Why don't we get to it? We need to do some media stuff, shall we? I think so. I think it's time for media. I'll be back after this. Okay, welcome back. Let's talk a little bit about media. I am going to go with our first story. Now, I've talked about this before, but if you don't know, you can actually watch the Walk of Fame. It seems like several times a month, they issue stars to people, to celebrities on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Yesterday, they issued one posthumously. Chadwick Boseman got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and I actually watched it. I'm subscribed to the channel, and I turn on notifications, so I always see when somebody is going to get their star. And I was like, oh, they're giving one to Chadwick Boseman. So yesterday, Chadwick Boseman got his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and it was such a beautiful ceremony. Just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful ceremony. It's interesting because not only was he a phenomenal actor, just magnificent in the way he approached the craft. This whole 6 degrees of separation, and the places that you've walked, other people have walked before. We were at Howard at the same time, although he was an undergrad and I was a grad. He was in the School of Fine Arts and I was in the School of Communication. We probably passed each other, and I didn't think anything of it. He didn't think anything of it. Just like, you pass so many people and you just never think about them. We graduated the same year. He got his undergraduate degree. I got my master's the same. So we were at the same graduation ceremony. So it's just interesting how you cross paths without even knowing. Howard was such a wonderful experience anyway. I remember walking, and Al Freeman Jr., the actor, he was the head of the theater department. He was always hanging up signs for something. And it was just a wonderful experience. I thoroughly enjoyed Howard University. Bison for life. So he was a proud Bison. They named the School of Fine Arts. It is now the Chadwick Boseman School of Fine Arts. And how wonderful that he got his star on the Walk of Fame yesterday. So if you want to watch it, it is up on the Walk of Fame YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe, and then you get to know when all these people get them. Let's see. Tanya Moore says, still heartbreaking that he's gone. Oh my goodness. It too young. He was 43 when he passed away. And, I was talking at the time. I was doing a podcast with some friends called Sci-Fi Saturdays, where it was like Saturday morning cartoons for adults. And we did it at some place before the pandemic. We would do it in person, and we had cereal, and we would talk about not just sci-fi, but different things. So we did a whole, and I think it's still up, we did a whole tribute to him. And we were talking about the fact that, he was working through all of this while he was very ill. He passed away from colon cancer. So he was very ill. However, I was like, wow, to do that was just amazing. So our one of the co-hosts said this, because he's an actor. He said, well, here's the thing. He may have had to work and had to hide that because you need insurance as an actor, and they tried to act funny if he needed to work. So he said he may have had to keep that a secret. Interesting. Makes sense. So in any case, let's see. Oh, D Carpio is here. She says, hello, everyone. D, it is fantastical to have you here. And let's see what else we have. Okay, we do have salad now. We do have some greens. We have a kale and spinach salad with quinoa. Oh, wow. Does that happen to come with a lemon and olive oil dressing? I'm in. That sounds fantastic. DiCarpio, welcome in. And Bryson is here. What's up, Bryson? I just thought about you because, Bryson, I know that did you watch the tribute, the Star Walk of Fame tribute to Chadwick Boseman, that he got his star? I know you sent it to me. I didn't know if you saw it, but it's funny, when you sent it to me, I was actually watching it. So thank you for doing that. And let's see. Yep, that's what we're talking about right now, my friend. So you did watch it. Good. Well, rest well. His wife was there. Also, why am I blanking on everybody's name? Hold on. How about I just pull it up? I'm talking from my head. Ryan Coogler was there, of course, who was the director of both Black Panthers. And Lupita Nyong'o, I did not see her there. Bryson, did you see her there? I don't know if she was able to come, but she did talk about him in several articles leading up to this. So yeah, just so many people were there. It was wonderful. So check it out if you have the time. Very heartfelt tribute, and congratulations posthumously on your star on the Walk of Fame. All right. Well, off of the Walk of Fame, onto the Warner Brothers lot. Let's talk about what's happening with Warner Brothers. Thank you. Michael B. Jordan was there as well. Thank you. Christine, is this Chris or is this Christine? Let me know. Let me know. Yes, Letitia Wright was there as well. Thank you. Yeah, I saw the pictures, and it's interesting. So you get to see some interesting things when you subscribe to their channel. So if you're into that type of thing, go ahead and subscribe on YouTube to Walk of Fame. That's their it's called Walk of Fame, not Hollywood Walk of Fame. So it will pop up. All right. Well, keep talking amongst yourselves, and let's yes, thank you, Bryson. So he says the cast of Black Panther was there. Michael B. Jordan, Viola Davis was there, and Letitia Wright. Yes, absolutely. Let's keep going. We're going to pull up our next story onto the Warner Brothers lot. As I said, Paramount, Comcast, and Netflix have now made official bids for Warner Brothers Discovery. This is a high stakes fight, folks. This is a rumble in the jungle. let's get ready to rumble for Warner Brothers Discovery. That's not a saying, but it is what it is. So this is very interesting. They've each submitted bids for some or all of Warner Brothers Discovery. So let me take this down. So if you recall, I talked about this, and I talked about this when this was just an idea, when this was just a rumor that it may be for sale. Remember, I said, you know what? For the right price, anything could be for sale. So now it actually is. So they've put in their bids. So it could be for all or part of it, just certain parts of it, right? So clearly they're trying to get rid of it, or they're trying to have it change hands. So this happened just yesterday that they've officially put in their bids. This is according to the Hollywood Reporter, who got it from a source familiar with the matter. You know, they never reveal things until the ink is dry. So they're officially kickstarting this process, looking for a buyer. So Paramount is led by CEO David Ellison. They're the only bidder that wants to acquire the entire Warner Brothers Discovery portfolio. And what does that include? That is film and TV studios. That's HBO and HBO Max, as well as cable channels like TNT, TBS, CNN, HGTV, and the Food Network. That's a lot of properties, right? So they'd been pursuing a split of the company with studios and streaming that are going to be one company, and then linear networks forming another company. So again, those networks that I just mentioned, they would be one company, and then the studios and streaming would be another. So they were looking to do a split. So Comcast, as we know, owns NBC Universal, and they're actually in the process of spinning out their own cable channels to another company. So it's interesting. I'm like, so you're getting rid of cable channels or spinning them off to another company, yet you're looking to acquire a property that has some cable channels. So they're probably one of the companies that are not looking to acquire the entire thing, right? So, and as I said, they and Netflix are interested in the studios and the streaming businesses. So I have some more news about Netflix and what they're going to do. And if Warner Brothers Discovery Boards goes with them, either one of them, they would either need to spin the linear channels, TBS, TNT, all of those, into their own company, so bring it into their own fold, or find another buyer for them. I hope this makes sense. You can see I'm excited about this type of thing. Now, why should we care about these types of things? We should care because media has changed. Media has changed and is continuously changing. I said this before. I'm not expecting you to have the same level of media knowledge I do. This is what I teach, but I'm also expecting you to have the same level of media knowledge I do, because this is how you know what is happening in media, particularly those of us that create. You need to know what's happening. You look, don't just pick up the camera and shoot. Understand what is happening in the media industries, because that's going to affect you directly, monsieur and madame or mademoiselle. Okay? Let's take some comments and see if we have anything here now that I've officially scolded you. Let's see. Fighting over the WB. Yeah, you know, again, it's going to be interesting. It may be easier for Warner Brothers Discovery to go with someone that wants the entire thing, so they don't have to worry about that. The other two just want streaming and studios. That's all they want. And honestly, for Netflix, that makes sense. They're not in the game of linear channels. They're not looking to do live television or any of that. What does Netflix have? They do have programming, but it's streaming. It's on demand, right? They have very little live. They've had some live events. They did the fight. They're looking to do more fights and get more into live sports. They did Love Is Blind. I think that's the name of the show. What's the one with Nick Lachey and the wife? Clearly, I don't know, right? Because those types of shows kind of irk me, so I don't watch them. But if you watch them, Godspeed, good for you. So they've done things like that, but they're not looking to do that on a regular basis. That's not their MO. That's not how they got to where they are now. It doesn't mean never, but that means that's not what we're interested in now, right? So you got that right. Serena says that Comcast cable prices are insane. Absolutely. The insane cable prices are what led to the cord cutting revolution in the first place. That, and then when you look at what you're paying for, and then you have HBO 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's nothing on them, or they're all playing the same things, what kind of sense does that make? You're paying for air, basically. So it's like, let's cut off some of that air. And this is what really did well or made streaming supreme. However, what happened is not only did streaming become supreme, a lot of people snatch back their properties from streamers like Netflix. Remember, Disney did that type of thing. And they're like, oh, well, we can have our own streaming channels. And then the market became saturated with streaming channels. And they're not free. You had to pay for each one. So now you're finding yourself almost back in the same shoes as when you had deplorable cable, which cable I'm sure is happy about. But it's about choices, right? It's about choices. I know most of us are probably not cable heads. Let me know if you still have cable. You know, that's kind of like, remember back in the day when everybody had relaxers? Now nobody has one. It's like, and if you have one, you're like, really? Let me know if you still have a relaxer, right? It's just a changing times. And if you do, that's fine. If you have cable, that's fine. It's just interesting the way the tides change. Jay, how are you? It is good to see you. Jay is joining us over on the Facebook side. We're talking Warner Brothers Discovery, Jay, and cable. D Carpio, D Cabelo says, yes, I still have cable. Now, why? And I'm not, no judgment here. D, what is it about cable that says, you know, I'm still going to pay for it? And I get it, because sometimes if you've had something for a long time, change it's not even hard. It's annoying to change things over. So it's like, if it's not broken, I'm not fixing it. This is why I tend to stay with things for a long time. I've had T-Mobile since it was voice stream, and that was like in the 90s. So I've had it for a long time. Unless they do something that is so diabolical that I'm like, oh no, you know, then I have to. But to change and transfer your number is just a headache, right? So that's why people keep it. And Jay says, I have no cable. It's too expensive. I agree. And it's the family, and all I watch is Netflix. Okay, so and that's a different case. Maybe you live in the house with other people, and that's one thing. So it's interesting. I know, as for me and this house, we are cord cutters and we don't do cable. And let's see. My friend put me on her YouTube TV, and that's expensive. Yeah, you know, the thing is, but those are cheaper still than cable. So you may be paying, it depends on who you have. I'm on Sling, which has gone up, but I've been on Sling for a while now. It's it was well before the pandemic. So I have to have been on this like for now probably 9 years at this point. I've been a cord cutter. Time flies, whatever. Nobody asked. So let's see. D says I pay two by myself. Two. Hold on. Maybe I'm not seeing this right. Let me get a little closer to $254 a month for cable. At that price, I need for them to put you on cable so we can watch you. Sheesh. Serena says, wow. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wow. Yeah, that's like a what now? Come again? Wow. It's exceedingly expensive. So you know what? Why don't you, unless you like paying $254 a month, why don't you investigate some of these streaming networks, these over the top platforms where you could get the same types of things and you're good. Because Netflix is like a separate thing altogether, unless you've got some sort of, I know team, if you have T-Mobile, you also have access to Netflix. They have a plan where you get access to Netflix, which I need to look at because I had them separately. So I need to see, maybe I can get rid of what I'm paying for Netflix and just get it through T-Mobile. Let's see. But check out that type of thing. Check out, there's Sling, there's YouTube TV, there is Philo. Fubo, I think, is is merging with something else. I have to check. But if you want, I could give you like a whole list of them and you could check them out. But no pressure. If you like what you're doing, that's fine. That's fine. Let's see. Jay's mind is blown. So is mine, but it's okay. It's okay. Let me take a minute to do the station ID. Folks, if you are just joining us, guess what? You're in for a treat. Welcome to the MediaScope family. This is MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. We're here on Fridays in the 8 o'clock hour. Usually tonight, I'm on a little bit later because I was out. But I said, well, you know what? I'm back now, so I'm coming back on. My name is Tachi. I'm a media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, also a journalist. And I'm also the founder of Indie Soup Media, an independent network for independent content creators. And write in the comments, wherever the comments are. Serena Wills, also, she's Divine Right Tonight. She is one of our creators. She has an amazing show called Literary Artistry with Serena Wills, and it's all about poetry and publishing and just good, what would you say, Serena? Good artwork, right? And I don't mean like visual art. So it's just all sorts of things. The performance of poetry, the writing of poetry. It's so good because she also gives some tips on, oh, are you going to a conference? This is what you do, like a writer's conference. This is what you do for that. So make sure you watch it. She's on Mondays at 5 p.m. The next season, her season 6 starts. The season for Indie Soup, which will be autumn 2005, starts Monday as well. So check us out on YouTube. It is Indie Soup Media. You want to watch. If you're not watching, what are you doing? Hey, Dasava is here. She says, hey, Dasava, how are you? Fantastic. Jay also says that T-Mobile will give a corporate discount if you work for one of the companies like Nordstrom. Well, that 86 is me because I don't. But that's good to know. That is good to know. You're right. Netflix is separate. So is Philo. Yes. They're all separate. Fantastical. All right. Well, we're going to get ready to go on to our next story. We are, let's see. Okay. We've been on for half an hour now. You know, I tried to give you all an hour of fun and foolishness. So we've got some more stories. Never fear. More stories are here. All right. Let's see. Let's go on to our next story. Oh, the Oscars. In case anybody cares. The Oscars actually have unveiled more than 300 eligible films across several categories: animated, documentary, and international features. So they've unveiled the full list of Oscars, and you can actually, I think it's on their that's on the Oscars website or the Academy's website. So you can check it out there if you are interested. So hold on, let me take this down so you can see my face. Maybe you're interested in seeing this, but too bad. Here we are. We're back. Okay. So if you're interested, the animated feature category includes 35 eligible titles for consideration. And documentary drew the most eligible submissions amongst the 3 categories, 201 titles in consideration. Fantastic. And then the international feature film category drew 86 eligible submissions from countries or regions around the world. So let me tell you a little bit about that. An international feature is a feature-length film which is more than 40 minutes to be considered feature length. It has to be more than 40 minutes, produced outside the US with a predominantly non-English dialogue track. Very cool. So I don't know. The full list is here if you on Variety. So if you go to variety.com/Oscars, you will be able to see that, or you can just go to the Academy's website itself and you can see all the names of these things. And I don't know any of the films, but guess what? Whenever these come out, especially with the international, I try to make it a point to see if I can see some of them. And yeah, there's a lot from different countries. I'm trying to see which African countries are there. South Africa is there. And Egypt. Okay, that's what I see for Africa for international feature. Interesting. All right. Well, let's see if we have comments on that. Are you all interested in seeing any of the films? If you are, and it's good to know, I really am interested in, especially like the in Independent Spirit Awards. So I look for films that are got nominated for that, but I really love foreign film. So I always look to see, okay, what has been nominated. So check that out. Yeah, it's a lot. 254 is a lot. Oh, Bryson's talking about K-pop Demon Hunters. Has anybody seen K-pop Demon Hunters? I have brunch monthly with a group of young women that we just happened to meet on Threads, and we're like, oh, well, who's in South Florida? Most of them live like in Palm Beach. I'm south of that, but like Palm Beach County. So we meet up like in Boca Raton once a month for brunch, which is really cool. And they were like, do you like anime? I said, I do. They're like, have you seen K-pop Demon Hunters? I'm like, that doesn't sound like something I want to see. They're like, no, it's really good. I watched it. It really is very, very good. So and there is a K-pop a sequel to this in the works right now. I think I told you all about that. So if you've not seen K-pop Demon Hunters, it is on Netflix. There is a sequel in the works right now. Fantastical. So that's what's happening over there. Let's ease on down the road to our next story. Let's see. All right, we've got some more news right here. Universal. Let's talk a little bit about Universal, shall we? So, Universal and Warner Brothers and Sony, they've got licensing deals with an AI music startup called Clay. Now, I wanted to bring this up because I also really want to know what you all think about AI music. Here, I'm going to take this down and we'll talk. Tell me your honest thoughts about AI music. Now, I don't think I got to the story, or did I? I don't remember if we talked about the story about the AI musician and the person behind it who has a $12 million record deal, and she's an AI artist. This is becoming a thing. Let me know. And this is a problem for people in the music industry. They've been talking about it ad nauseum. That's what you see everywhere, especially since this came out. It's like $12 million. What do you think about this? As you're putting your comments, let's talk a little bit about this. Okay. So for the first time, all three major labels, Universal Music Group, Sony Music, and Warner Music Group, and their respective publishing arms, they've struck individual licensing deals with the same artificial intelligence focused music startup called Clay. This is the first time. I never thought I would see this coming, but the writing has been on the wall for some time. So they just made an announcement on the agreements, and they're explaining that, quote, Clay is an entirely new subscription product that will uplift great artists and celebrate their craft. Within Clay's system, Fans can mold their musical journeys in new ways while ensuring participating artists and songwriters are properly recognized and rewarded. So let's talk about AI music. It doesn't come out of the air. Artificial intelligence is not really artificial intelligence as it is right now does not mean independent intelligence. It has to get information from somewhere to work. So the way people think, oh, well, AI can, but AI is getting it from somewhere. It is scrubbing different sources and mashing them together so that you get something, right? So what AI does with AI music is that these are not things that did not exist before. AI is trained, the AI is trained on different models of music, right? Different music. Eh, and there have been some lawsuits, right? Because they're trained without permission. But it's too late now. That knowledge is in there. So it takes pieces of this, a piece of this, a piece of that. Oh, I'll have a piece of this. I'll take one of that. That's what it does, and it presents you with something. Now, let's think about it. We all have influences in terms of, say you're a musician, you have musical influences, right? Or for whatever you do, you have an influence or you've been influenced by someone. So I'm a dancer. One of my favorite dance groups is Ronald K. Brown Evidence. For those of you from New York, you'll know it's a Brooklyn-based company. Ron K. Brown has done a lot of choreography for the Alvin Ailey Alvin Ailey Dance Theater, and he's phenomenal. I had the opportunity in the early 2000s to take a master class with him because he came to, Serena, you'll know this, he came to Dance Place and I took a master class. It was amazing. And I was like, if I was not on this path, I would move to Brooklyn and audition for Evidence because that is like my favorite dance group. I love Ailey, but Evidence is mine. So consequently, you can feel a lot of, not a lot, but are some movements that I'm like, I like this. My body likes this. When I choreograph, you'll find that in there. Now, it didn't just come out of nowhere. It's because I've had exposure to these types of things. And then even with different techniques of dance, there are movements that are going to be the same. So because you are influenced by those things, you find those things seeping into your own artwork. This is AI, right? You've been trained. I was trained at Dance Place. I got trained whenever I take class at Ailey or any of those things, and then it becomes part and parcel of your work. So I hope that's a good example of this. But it gets trained on models that exist. It doesn't make this stuff up itself, and this is where artists have a problem with it. Let's see what you all think about AI music. Oh, we've got some things here. Here we go. Let's go back. So DiCarpio says, my family is leaving for Florida Thursday. I'm staying home. If I came, I could. Yeah, I know. Were they coming South Florida? I would have loved to have met you, but it's going to happen. Definitely. And Divine Right says, this is crazy. AI artists, stop it. I'll see if I can, before we leave, if I can pull up that video. I feel like I played it for you all, but I may not have. Hey, and look who is here. Speaking of, I just saw you. Oh, speaking of butterflies, we weren't talking about butterflies, but Jody Red Butterfly is here. Joan Balka, welcome, Soror. It is good to see you. Dasava says, I think it's weird to claim that you're an artist. AI music is an updated version of computer use, etc. Good point. Yes, Serrano K. Brown, right? Love it. Love it. Disney Vacation. Oh, Disney is like 3 hours from me. But we could have met like halfway in Port St. Lucie. That would have been cool. Okay, so let's see. I going to DeSava's point, definitely. So let me ask you all this. Playing advocate here, right? How is AI music different from sampling, different from remaking songs? Now, again, aside from the fact that in the past, they had not given credit to the art. Aside from that, how is this fundamentally different? How is this fundamentally different from, so you've got an AI artist, right? This artist doesn't really exist, but neither did Milli Vanilli, right? How is this fundamentally different? I want to know from you. Or is it fundamentally different? Please let me know. Let me know in the chat. So I will keep going as I'm waiting for your, because I know you're typing feverishly. So the press release for this goes on to say, quote, the startup's, quote, large music model has only been trained on licensed music, and that Clay is also working to include all independent labels, artists, songwriters, and publishers. So Universal announced a strategic partnership with Clay back in October, saying that they would be working to develop a, quote, pioneering commercial ethical foundational model. The key thing here is ethical, because this is where people are up in arms. The unethical part is using artist's music or anything from an artist without giving credit, not just credit, but without payment, because they're making money now, right? They're going to make money somehow. So, details on the subscription model and products that their Clay will release are not abundant right now. They're pretty scarce. And if you go to the company's music website, the tagline says music set free, and you can click a link to join the wait list. I'm already signed up for too many things. I don't know that I'm interested in that right now, but we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's see if we have any comments. All right. So Dasava says this. They sample by pulling music, and now they can pull perfect voices by picking how they want the person to sound, all the way down to the most minute note or sound. Absolutely. Absolutely. The lady whose name is something Monet, yes, was on Tamron Hall's show, and she showed how you used the AI tool to make songs. I follow another content provider whose children make songs for her using AI. Now, question, do you have a problem with that? Do you have a does anyone have a fundamental problem with using AI to create music, knowing that these have been trained on, even though they're saying now Clay is like it's only going to be trained on XYZ? Guess what? I hate to tell you, but it's AI has already been trained on everything that's out there. Yeah, maybe now there's a stop being put to it, but they're not going to go and you can't take out things now. So things have already been trained on what is out there. So do you have a fundamental problem? Let me know. All right. Let's do this. Let's move on. We have a few more stories because my glasses keep sliding down. I'm trying to be cute today and they keep sliding down. All right. So if you are just joining, guess what? I want to say, hey, welcome to the fold. This is MediaScope, all things media, tech, and pop culture. We're here on Fridays, usually in the 8 o'clock hour. Today we were in on the 9 o'clock hour. We started around 9:30 because I went out, but I had to get with my MediaScope family. And who am I? Tachi, media professor, filmmaker, media content producer, also a journalist who's going to have to tear down all of this tonight because the whole place is a wreck. Usually I'm on one side and I just have to put now I'm all spread out. But that's why if you're seeing me tonight in a different place, it's because I had a shoot earlier and I just kind of turned things so I didn't have to completely mess with everything. Yeah, sometimes I get lazy and I didn't want to put stuff back, but now this has made my job harder because now I have to put back more stuff. But it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. And you know what? If you're on YouTube, tell your friends, like and subscribe. That way, and hit the notification bell so you know when I come on. Usually it will be Friday in the 8 o'clock hour, but if you hit the notification bell, you will see. And I have a lot of cool stuff on the channel, so make sure that you subscribe. All right, so let's get to our final few. We've got about 10 minutes left before I bid you adieu and let you go on with your evening. Thank you for joining me for this late night. This truly is MediaScope After Dark. So thank you. We've now transitioned to the After Dark part. So thank you so much for being here. Hit the bell. Yes, yes, yes. Hit that bell. Thank you, Serena. Thank you so much. So let's see what Dasava says. She says, I think some should be given songwriter credit, but not credit as an artist. Ah, interesting. Also, DeFos DeSava says, I cringe when people on Facebook ask people to take a picture of them and alter the picture. I think we are not taking AI seriously enough, and it's hard to figure out what's real anymore. You know, it's very difficult. AI is getting very good, but it is not there yet. And there are some, you know what I'll have to do? I actually subscribe to a publication called Video Maker. I think it's through Video Maker. I think so. So they had an article, really interesting article of how to tell AI video and AI images. There's always something. Now, you may have to sit and study because AI is getting really good, but there are some telltale signs often. So I remember I saw a picture of a cat and it looked very, real. But I also noticed that when you look at the cat's eyes, you don't necessarily see what they're looking at. And because it was looking out of a window, I'm like, I should see a reflection. So even though that was really, really real looking, really real, it looked authentic. I could tell because of that. So we just have to pay attention to some things and we need to learn what are the signs that something is AI because we cannot rely on creators to voluntarily give us the fact that this was created by AI. So we have to be able to tell with those things. Also with, photos and images, especially if it comes to a news story, do the research. Look for at least 3 reputable sources. If you're not seeing this in at least 3, it doesn't mean it may not be true, but they may not have gotten to it yet, but wait, it is better to be right than first, right? So don't go forwarding something like a fake photo or whatever, a photo created with AI thinking it's real and you haven't done your due diligence. So just wait. You don't have to be first. It's okay. Let's see. And Tanya Moore says vampires don't have reflexes. Well, that's true. that is true. That is true. Dasava also says the body parts are sometimes a giveaway or the eyes aren't tracking. Yes, no shadows. Exactly. Now it's getting really good, but we're not there yet. So there, excuse me. You could tell it's almost an hour, right? Excuse me, because I start getting dry round about this point because I haven't had any water, which is stupid. Why not? It's sitting right there. Anyway, so this is true. Body parts, it's getting better. Before it would have 6 fingers. You still see sometimes it has problems with fingers. It's getting better though. And one thing I noticed too, so it has a problem. AI has a problem creating regular sized bodies, average sized bodies, right? A lot of things I'm like, did you train this all on runway models? Because everybody is like size -5. You see that too sometimes. So sometimes AI has a problem creating regular sized or average sized bodies. So that's something as well. So just, be diligent, be aware when it comes to AI. Yeah, some images are really wild. Some I'm like, why would you make this? Who asked for this? Today on Who Asked for This? What? Anyway, yes. All right. So let's keep going. We've got some more before we end. We're going to get off of AI music. You can check those out. You know what I need to do when I have some time? I need to put some articles for you all so that you can check these out on your own. I try to do that periodically, but when my interns come back, because I don't have interns this semester, hopefully over the summer I will, and I'll be able to start doing these types of things. I think I am going to skip over this And let's go to, okay, this is a very interesting story. I'm going to put this one up. Here we go. Okay, so speaking of Netflix, we just talked about them a little bit ago. They're going to live stream something. I just got finished saying they don't do a lot of stuff, but they're looking to do more live events. Excuse me. So they're going to live stream a free solo climber named Alex Honnold as he climbs the Taiwan skyscraper. I can tell you right now, I will not be watching. I don't have the wherewithal for that type of thing. So I don't know if you know about free solo climbing. I don't know very much about it, but apparently he is Alex Honnold is a sensation in this, and he is about to or going to attempt to scale the 1667 foot Taipei 101, which is the tallest building in Taiwan. And I need you to see my face for this one. No ropes. He's doing this without ropes, no hooks, no safety harnesses. It's going to be a live streamed 2-hour special called Skyscraper Live. And this is going to be in early 2026. So he made a name for himself in 2017 in California when he was the first person to climb the 2,900 foot El Capitan in Yosemite without equipment. This was part of a documentary that came out in 2018 called Free Solo, and it won an Oscar. So, according to the VP of Nonfiction Series and Sports at Netflix, Brandon Rieg, he says Skyscraper Live will kick off 2026 as our latest global must-watch live event. Watching Alex free climb Taipei 101 will be an adrenaline-inducing spectacle that you can't look away from. I can. Everyone will be talking about it as it happens. Now, I don't know. I guess you must have nerves of steel because I can't watch someone for 2 hours with no harnesses, no equipment, with the possibility that this person, God forbid, will fall. I can't take it. I can't. Let me know. Are you interested in watching Skyscraper Live and him free climbing? Why? First of all, why? Like, I like life too much to just do something that voluntarily will get you killed. That, God forbid. What say you? Let me just go to what you say, and I can see we have things to talk about. Let's see. Yes, the AI babies are funny. I like those. Those are funny. Let's see. Joan says lately there have been posts regarding Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston. Most of the pictures are obviously AI generated. Absolutely. Yeah, I've seen them. I'm like, come on now. And yes, he is climbing Taipei 101, 1667, 1,667 feet in the air. Exactly. Why? Damn, what the hell is this? Right? It doesn't make any sense. And yeah, Serena says my nerves are too bad to watch it. I'm not gonna for 2 hours. No, no. Oh, where's your comment? It must be way up. Wait, I'm looking for your comment, Bryson, and I don't see it. Put it in again because I don't see it up there, Bryson, and I will gladly read it. All right, let's see. It's called Sport, and it's called a sport. Not interested at all. I don't know enough about this maybe to talk about this intelligently. So I'm talking about this from my own what I'm not, as they would say down here, what I'm not finna do. What I'm not finna do is climb. I'm not even climbing anything with harnesses, ropes, and what that does not appeal to me. Maybe it appeals to some, and good for you. It does not appeal to me. I'm also, because with ropes and safety equipment, it doesn't appeal to me. It for sure does not appeal to me without it. I'm not doing that. I guess it's a sport, but I don't. Why would you encourage danger? And now you no, to me, it's just encouraging danger, and it doesn't make any sense. But you know what? I hope he remains safe. Why? Okay, Evil Knievel. Remember back in the day, Evil Knievel? It just doesn't make any sense. Okay. Jones says, wow, you have to have nerves of steel. I couldn't watch it, nor could I, nor could I. Up top. Well, I can't see about Eddie Murphy. Well, put it in again, Bryson, because I don't see it. So if I miss your comment, make sure that you put it in again. Just write it, copy and paste it, and write it again because I don't see it. I have a lot of comments, Bryson. Let's see. Okay. So, okay. D does parasailing, but no way up high, that high. That seems way less dangerous than trying to climb something with no harness, no hooks, no safety equipment, no safety net. Okay. Divine Right says Kelly Lattimore and Faith Jenkins Lattimore have a lawsuit on AI generated stuff that are all lies. They found the people behind all of it. Wow. Wow. And see, my thing is this AI is actually wonderful. And if you use it for good, it can be phenomenal. Why not? The energy you spend to generate lies, literally generate lies, is the same that you could use AI to make money doing something legitimate. I don't understand people. Maybe I'm the dumb one here, huh? Let's see. All right. Dasava says, heaven forbid that this is the time I know that he actually makes a mistake. And now we are stuck with the memory of a potentially fatal accident. No, exactly why I'm not watching. I don't want to hear about it afterwards. Now, hopefully that I am praying and putting out positive energy that it ends up good for him. This is what we want. We want for it to turn out good. But we want for it to turn out good. I will not be watching you, sir. Godspeed. I don't want to hear about it afterwards either. I just don't want to hear about it. Let's see. Joe says, fear is not entertaining. Not to me. Some people thrive off of that, but it's not entertaining to me. But it is entertaining to some, which is why there is a whole genre of this type of stuff. I also don't like horror. I don't know if you all like horror. I can't stand horror. Suspense, I can. Horror, I don't like. I don't like this type of thing. So, yes, finna. They love that down here in Florida. So, very southern. So, finna. Absolutely. Let's see. Okay, so here we go. Bryson's comment is Eddie Murphy will be getting a Life Achievement Award. Yes, I heard about this from AFI on April 18th. I did hear about that. He will be getting that award from AFI. Absolutely. Thank you for bringing that up, Bryson. Thank you. And Divine Right said they made up stories about them and other Black celebrities. Just nuts. They were interviewed on Tamron Hall the other week. Wow. Like that old show. Now that's the stupidity. That show is just stupidity for the ages. I can't stand that show. Absolutely. DeSalva doesn't like horror either. No, I don't like that type of thing. But there are people who do, and good for you. I'm not going to yuck what you like. My mother always said you shouldn't say yuck to people's food. So, and I was just talking about Oscar the Grouch, where she said, yeah, don't say yuck to people's food. Okay, sorry, Oscar. Anyway, so if that's what you thrive off of, that's fine. I shall not be participating in the debauchery, however. Wow. Okay. So we are 5 minutes past. And I think, okay, I have to, one last story, guys, and then I will let you go. So we are going to skip over tech, and I'm going to give you a pop culture story because this is just interesting. Here we go. Pop culture. Today on Who Asked for This, a toothpick made out of gold. Why would you? This is a luxury toothpick made of gold, folks. This is on the Jennifer Fisher site. And the idea was born, it says, according to the site, after Jennifer met Amanda Hesser, the co founder of Food 52, at a dinner party, a meeting that sparked a conversation about how two design minded brands could elevate something completely ordinary. This isn't just a toothpick, it's a statement, chic, irreverent, and guaranteed to spark conversation. It's the kind of why not luxury that feels perfectly at home in the world of Jennifer Fisher, crafted in 14 karat yellow gold, and there's also one in sterling silver. So the sterling silver is $450, folks. But if you're a high roller, you can have the 14 karat yellow gold toothpick for the low price of $950. Who wants one? Raise your hand. You there, do you want one? Let me take this down because first of all, who asked for this? Second of all, who asked for this? Third of all, if I have $950, what I'm not finna do is buy a thin piece of gold to use it to pick food out of my teeth. But somebody's buying it. Somebody's buying it. These things are more than novelty. You know, whenever I do these pop culture things, this is more than novelty. There are people that actually buy these things. Would you? Let me know in the comments if you would buy this. Even if it's not to use, would you buy it just to have? Not Joan Balcom. She says stupidity at its finest. Or are you talking about the climbing? It could be either one. These are both not so bright ideas. Now, let's see. Divine Right says a luxury toothpick. Say what now? That's right. A luxury toothpick. Dasava says, yeah, just the idea. It doesn't even like metal in. That just makes me cringe. The metal against a tooth scraping. Why? Why? Let's go back a little bit to what Dasava said about AI. She said AI is going to be a major problem in this next presidential election. I think it will be misused more than ever to influence folks. Absolutely. But listen, here's the thing. Can we stop being sheeple and goats? Listen, in Igbo, the language I speak, my parents' language, the highest insult is to call someone a goat. Now, it doesn't sound very insulting when you just say you goat. But when you say it in Igbo, ew, that sounds insulting, right? So if we can just stop being sheeple and ew, I think we would be all right. But I can't hope for that in this lifetime. Maybe next lifetime. Let's see. Yes, early 2026 it will be on. So go ahead and watch it if you like. I shall not. Deke. Let's see. A wooden toothpick is just fine. Absolutely. Absolutely. Dasava said, so who thinks it's cool to watch someone pick around in their mouth? Yeah, I don't, that's not nice as it is. So now it's like, oh, it's better because this is sterling silver or this is gold. I think this is a candidate for Bama of the Week. What do you all think? Let's see. Okay, the gold toothpick. That's what I thought. Hey, Ron TV Metro, what's going on? Watching us from Manila in the Philippines. It is now, it should be 11:39 a.m. for you all. Welcome in. It is good to see you. Good to see you. Let's see. Saba said, no, folks will be sheeple and goats and proud of. Oh, they love being Ewu. They love goats. They love In fact, there's a dish. So for if you eat goat, there is like goat head, like the meat from the goat's head, goat meat that they call isieu. So these are what these people are: goat heads, isieu, isieu, and sheeple. They're very proud of it. Good for them. At least they aim high. Anyway, let's see. Oh, Joan says, I was born in the year of the goat. Wow. I like goats, but I don't use them to model my behavior, right? That's the difference. Yes, creator of luxury toothpicks, you are the Bama of the week. We. Dasava says I could do curry goat, but that's it. Well, isiawu is actually very tasty. It is it's akin to curry goat, but it's not curry. It's more like African spices. So now that I've taken you 10 minutes over, I apologize for that, but I thank you all for hanging in there with me and having fun tonight on this MediaScope After Dark, because it's a little bit later than when we normally start. Thank you so very much. I am honored every time I come on that you guys come on and hang out with me. And now I'm going to get off and start to try and put this space, the studio space, back together so that I don't have lights and everything all over the place. Dasava says, now I'm hungry. Sorry, didn't mean to do that. So for everybody who came in, thank you so much. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. Thank you, Food Truck, for being here and for all the great specials. Tanya, thank you. She says, everyone have a great holiday. Yes, I forgot. I will not see you. So if you celebrate the holiday, if you celebrate Thanksgiving, have a great one. I think I will be on Friday. I think so. Even though it's like the day after the holiday. Okay, I'll be on. It should be on Friday. I know you just got here. Okay, so next time, I'll send you a personal thing to remind you, hey, I'm coming on. So, but thank you for being here, and you're free to watch the replay if you like. And maybe I'll do a pop-up sometime next week, since it's kind of a holiday-ish time and it will be a little slow. Maybe I'll do a pop-up as well. Well, that is it for now. I can't do the full thing because I'm holding the microphone, but here we go. And she says, have a great holiday. Oh, hey, Jeanette, how are you? Jeanette, thank you for coming in. She's going to watch the replay. So I love you guys for watching. I bid you adieu. You guys, myself, and all of this news and the sheeple and the goats, we're going to exit stage left. So until next week, maybe I'll do 2. We'll see. Cheers, my friends.
Close the doors, walk across the corridor. We got something to show you. Media is our repertoire. Fed up with the same news, no channel to use. Cruise control mentalities. Here we offer you. We gon' show you how you play. The content it never stays. We're positive and uplifting. Once a week, the scope gifted. Let's hear fake.